It's time to take an inside look at those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, where we connect you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I am your host, Lou Diamond, and today I am joined by Angela Maiers. Let me tell you a little bit about her before we bring her on the air. Angela is a legend. She's a legend. In my mind, she's a legend. We know that, and she's already laughing with it. But she is. She's a living legend. She's a leader, visionary, entrepreneur, disruptor, and a change maker. Angela Maiers founded Choose to Matter to bring the world hope by helping every individual embrace their value and potential contribution. Her organization, Choose to Matter, has evolved into a movement that supports parents, educators, and employees around the world. Her work in 60,000 classrooms across 100 countries has rallied more than 1 million children who have banded together to launch 170 social enterprises and influence 17 laws. And organizations across all industries are finding new ways to ignite the genius of their employees, successfully addressing a $15 trillion employee engagement problem. Angela is an author of 8 books. She is recognized as one of the most influential voices on social media today, a regular contributor to the Huffington Post, amazing keynote speaker, and someone I'm sure you're all going to enjoy even more after this conversation. Angela Maiers, welcome to Thrive Loud.
Hi, Lou. How are you? And hi, Thrive community. I'm so honored to be here. And wow, was that a resume? That was like crazy. So I got to live up to that. I feel like I matter.
Well, I think we're going to get to that because I've affectionately called Angela, not Angela Maiers, but Angela Matters, very much so. And amazingly, no one's picked up on that. I'm going to have to get in some kind of trademark with that. I like to start every show, Angela, telling people my personal connection to our guest. And so I'll give the background. We actually met late last year in New York City at the C-Suite Advisors event in New York, late November. And that was right as my book, Master the Art of Connecting, was coming out. So you and I met at one of the breakout sessions, or it might have even been the cocktails. We're not exactly sure, but we got into.
We were not talking about that on the podcast.
No, we're not. It's all good, all clean fun with lots of fun professionals. We got into a long conversation about her organization, Choose to Matter, the movement, and my way of connecting to the world. And I gave Angela an early copy of my book. And she connected with the book with so many of the ideas that were in there. She called me up and we had this follow-up conversation. It launched into a whole set of things in motion where a lot of the concepts that she's been working with children in the classroom, we've been able to identify a way to bring her way of mattering into the workplace in a lot of the ways that I'm helping some amazing leaders connect. And that component of it has established a friendship between the two of us and also a professional relationship here as well. And actually, I put Angela on the back of the book because she wanted to say, I want to get the word out there, which was great. And I totally appreciate that. So with that, that's how we know each other. And to kick things off here to our listeners, I think it makes the most sense for you to probably tell us about Choose to Matter, hear about the journey and how we got there, the message, the organization itself, and where everything's heading with Choose to Matter. And let's start with that.
Well, thank you for that, Lou. And I will try to give you an overview of the last 30 years of my life in 30 seconds. I began my world, my passion, by embracing my calling as an educator. And the root word of the word educate itself means to lead out. And so I entered the field, I entered my classroom, I entered my school and community with the intention, I would love to say, leading out the genius in my presence. But that wasn't actually the truth. I thought, because I selected an inner city neighborhood to begin my career with very, very struggling families and very, very impoverished kids with problems that you can't even comprehend. And I thought that I was there to impart my knowledge, to impart my love, to impart my wisdom, and wanted to show up and save the world, and thought that was the angle of saving the world, was to find those that you deem less fortunate, and then give onto them all of your gifts. When as always, within just a few weeks of being around kids, they taught me something completely different that changed my life. I think the work with my students and families, especially ones that would be considered by the world needy, was understood. There was almost an epiphany when I wasn't making progress. I wasn't making the impact I wanted to make. I wasn't making the ends that I wanted to make. And my epiphany was that no one, not any child, not any adult, not any community, is motivated by being seen as needy. That doesn't mean we don't have needs, or there's not times that communities or individuals have, really urgent needs. But we don't want to be viewed as needy. We want and need to be seen as worthy, as needed by other people. And this desire to be noticed and valued and honored, no matter where we are in the realm of the world, no matter what age, no matter what zip code, is something that comes from our DNA. It doesn't come from our ego. It's not a mission of self-esteem. It is a necessity that is essential to all aspects of human life and work, as much as air, food, water, and shelter. The need to matter trumps literally everything else we do. And once I recognized that and understood that my mission was to show them how they could be needed and valued and recognized by the world, everything changed. And so that has been, mattering has been my mission. It's been my agenda. It's been my call to action since the beginning of anything I can remember. And as I looked at how do we help take this to scale, social media has played a big part of it. And the people that are helping me do that, the people that are moving the message forward with urgency and seriousness, just happen to be children. Because to them, mattering isn't a statement of affirmation. It is an invitation to use their genius to change the world. And as you stated in the introduction, that's exactly what they've been doing at a force and a scale I've never seen in my life. So that's my 30-second overview of how I got to the message.
It's really powerful. You know that I am completely drawn to the power that people have when they embrace their super why, and that living and breathing your why every single day. And I've seen it for those who follow Angela on social media, and when she's toured around the world. Actually, she was in Europe earlier this year, and people flocked to go see her. And the power of their message and helping to get people to share that you matter and that they make the choice to matter, and helping to get that message out, just to see it, through the eyes of these incredible young future leaders of the world. Is powerful. And whether you're coming from the business side of the world, where I'm immersed most of the times, I actually enjoy listening and watching it, because it is inspiring. And I don't think you get applauded enough, by the way, because you defer a lot of the credit to those who are following you and are using this power. But the message that you've come up with is really succinct and something that we all need to do. I think the way that you've said it to me one time, and I'll echo this if I have your permission, was that mattering is just as equally important as food, water, and shelter. And that absolutely, and that is the greatest thing that's out there. And it is so true when you think about those that have not been told that they matter, when they are, how powerful that is. And that's where I wanted to segue. You've seen a lot of this. You've seen a lot of people who haven't done that. And tell me how that's affected you, and give me some examples I know that you've had recently with this to share with our listeners. Yeah.
Literally every day, because of social media, like, I'm still in awe. I mean, I open up every day by looking at my Twitter feed and just following the hashtag choose to matter, you matter. People use them differently, because the point is that mattering is a choice. Your worthiness is your responsibility. And every day when you wake up to think about how to be your best self, whether that involves other essential needs, how to eat right, how to get enough sleep, how to exercise, that when you compromise on any one of those things, you can make it through a day or a week, but ultimately it's going to affect your performance. Mattering is the same thing. It is a daily discipline. And so part of my daily discipline is reminding myself what a get-to-do this world is, and all the problems and all the things that we say are wrong with people, or wrong with humanity, or wrong with the web. Every day is a reminder to me of what is true and right, and where hope lies. And hope lies embraced and embodied in the people that know they matter. Not because it's a statement affirming their worthiness, but it's a practice that leads to a call to action. And that's what Choose to Matter is. It's a call to action. It's an invitation that we invite our community in partnership to contribute their full selves to the world. And whether that's an individual or an organization, it's in the act of contribution that changes us. It cements our connections, it creates new partnerships, but at the end of the day, it validates our worthiness, because the deepest driver of human behavior is knowing that we have something that someone else in the world needs. And that makes us get up, that makes us run to school, run to work, run to the world, because we know someone's counting on us. And that's really different than someone loving us or someone taking care of us, someone even believing in us, somebody that is counting on us because what we have and who we are to them is essential. Yeah. That's profound.
It's great. I'm looking at my notes to talk to Angela, and it looks like a blur of words. And there's one there's one word that I always think of, because I don't do justice to how you actually say this, and I've tried to use it in my own vocabulary, and it just doesn't come out as good, Angela. You do a much better job of it. And that word is wow. Angela uses this expression when something has that awe-inspiring effect on you, and she calls it a wow moment. And often, if you follow her on social media, those who know this, she will say so many wow moments today. And I wanted to ask you, let's just make it as real as possible. Over the last month or so, you've done a lot of stuff with some businesses and some travel. Give us some of the wow moments that you've run into recently, and share that with our listeners.
So here's what wow moment means. Wow moment stands for worthy of the world. And it's a reminder not only that the world, and more importantly, the people in it, are worthy of your attention, even if it's for 14 seconds. They're worthy of your time. They're worthy of your full presence. That is a reminder to ourselves, but also that we have a chance in those moments to be the ambassador to what makes the world worthy, to be the model of that. And so it's just stopping yourself for a moment, literally, and saying, in this second, in this moment, I'm really happy that I woke up today, that I made it to work today, because I was able to be somebody. I was able to be that, or be in that moment with someone else. So every day I give myself 5 minutes just to stop and be present, to witness the world, if you will. And then we have a moral obligation to share what we noticed, what was valuable about that, what was humbling about that, what was inspiring about that, and share it out loud. And it just changes your whole outlook. It changes your whole mindset. It changes your whole culture when you celebrate wow moments. So there's so many, because every single day I have a wow moment. But in the last multitude of weeks, I've been spending them in the HR space, with HR retail, with human resources, with large brands, large organizations. And because I spend a lot of time with kids, it's so simple to them. They embrace simplicity. But I think as adults, we are weary of simplicity, and we don't see the disruptive force of something so simple like these two words, you matter. And so I started the conversation. Of course, I made them all get out of their desks and get out of their rows and get out of that passive presentation, like I'm on stage and you're there to just like absorb what I have to say. This is about participation. So I made everybody, when they walked in the room, get up, all these executives, and get in a circle and look at each other, just like show and tell. I'm 5-year-old. So of course they were like so thrilled. And I asked them a really simple question. What would make you run to work? When's the last time you ran to work? and to really think about, if it's been a while, and for a lot of them it was, what is the one thing that somebody could do that would make you run to work every day, but at least for one day? And then think about when that happens, not only is that a wow moment, but also how do you accelerate that happening? You're the wow moment for someone else by these. And what comes up every single time, because I've asked this question 500,000 times, is it's nothing major. It's not about pay raise. It's not about paycheck. It's not about something profound, some sort of program that was adopted or event that you're planning. It was very simple. Somebody smiled at me. Somebody said my name. Like somebody noticed that I was having a good day or a bad day. Like they're the most simple, basic human needs that are so ignored that they have become invisible. And our job is to make them visible again and make mattering not just any agenda, but the agenda, the only agenda that services all other agenda.
Oh, that's great. I have to share a follow-up story to this because you and I have talked about this, so that in a lot of the companies I work with, there are what we like to say multi-generational issues. I don't call it a millennial issue. We've got people in many different generations. And in one set of clients, they're very much focused in a client service business. So they are always focused in giving the mattering energy to their customers. And they're doing that all day long. And what they fail to do is they'll not give the same you matter mentality to their fellow colleagues. And we actually, we're recognizing what's happening is it's almost like, hey, I'm giving an energy into one direction and now I almost need to take a breather. And they're taking for granted the services of junior people in their company, or that someone's working on something else and that the thing that you might be working on for your client that really matters isn't necessarily the thing that is most important right now. And I actually took a page from your book, and we've talked about this in recognizing how important it is to get people in these organizations to see that they matter to each other, equally important. And
equally.
It's so, and the energy that happens from it, Angela, as you know, is profound. The even just being able to tell someone in the office, thank you for helping me with such and such a project. You really mattered in us doing a great job for the client or for an internal meeting or for getting the company where it needs to be. It is the mirror. This is what you and I saw way back when we first met.
Yes.
That this is the message in helping people to establish a connecting culture, is really understanding it's a mattering culture. And I think we've joked about this. You and I have said this. One day we're going to create if we haven't trademarked it yet, please listeners, don't do this. We're going to just run to thank God there's a delay and this isn't a live feed, but connecting matters. And that's something that you and I have talked about. And it's a component of taking you mattering and bringing that into your organization.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to let you know that I've been listening and you do matter. And that we've been channeling your message, not only in the classroom, but in the workplace as well. And people are having their own wow moments with it, which is awesome.
That's so awesome. That leads me into a way that we can facilitate deeper connections with each other. And I think the pathway in doing that is through the words that we use. And I don't mean just you matter, but I mean to really harness the power of our words and to carefully choose the words, not only that we speak in a certain context or to certain individuals, but how the words we use develop a specific culture and a specific practice and a character over time. And so part of what I've become fluent in is the language of mattering, being able to find a way to use choice words, to language, if you will, to help individuals envision their own success, sort of stretch their thinking, advance the kinds of behaviors and actions that you wish to see in the culture. And it seems very complex, but what I've learned is that it doesn't take a whole lot of words. It just takes words carefully thought out and authentic and truly heartfelt. And so I've developed this language of mattering to help people and hoping that they would then develop their own language of mattering, And what I've learned is, like learning any language, having a few starters to help you get started helps you become fluent faster. And so we started this, I don't know what you would want to call it, this practice of mattering by just encouraging people to just take 5 minutes a day and pick one or two people in their lives and actually articulate, use specific words, articulate to them what it is about them that they matter. What about them makes a difference in your life, or what about them made a difference in your day? And then with very specific language, tell them that and see what happens. And as you know, it's a miracle to watch what happens.
It's energizing. The word I keep coming in is the energizing. And I was going to share with our listeners here a great story. Angela has this one exercise where she will have two individuals sit literally Indian style on the ground, their knees almost touching. And very difficult to do always in a business environment, but to watch kids do it, it's powerful. To watch adults do it, it's even more powerful.
Powerful.
And she will have them, you'll have them stay. Maybe I'm not going to take the fire. Why don't you explain the exercise more powerfully to our listeners? It'll come better from you.
The first thing on what I call the hierarchy of mattering is to know that we are noticed by another person, to know that our presence is recognized. And so being able to give someone else your full attention, to really notice them, to look at them, to see who they are, is one of the most moving, incredible, I don't know what I want to say, contagious things that you can do to the human spirit. People are completely transformed in just a matter of 60 seconds. And that's all it is. It's just 60 seconds to look at another human being and be fully present and see them. Don't just look at them, but actually see them. And you can almost feel, this sounds like so corny, but the human spirit is so receptive to this. You can almost see them opening a door to you, opening a door that hadn't been opened before. And it's like you're giving them the key to their own power, and they're unlocking it. And at the end of that 60 seconds, just in very simple terms, say the person's name and say, you matter. Like, Lou, you matter. And then just stay there in that moment together. And it is beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. And for those that are thinking this is a little too woo-woo-y for me, I will say this, that I saw two gentlemen at the age of, in their 50s and 60s, do this exercise. Their biggest challenge was sitting Indian style and getting knees to knee. But that's aside from the physicality issue. They were staring at each other. 60 seconds to them might have felt like 60 minutes.
Yes.
However, my favorite line out of the whole thing was after they recognized that each other mattered. The other gentleman goes, you have hazel eyes. It's really nice.
It's great. It's great.
So
we need to be seen as human beings. It's, like I see you. So many people go through their jobs, through their lives, through just existence, never ever feeling invisible.
Yep.
And that's absolutely the best gift we can give another person, is just a witness to their presence. Be present for them. And it really is like handing somebody the key to their own power. Is you cannot embrace something that you don't yet see. And we get a chance to help people see, it's like giving them a front row seat to their brilliance, and just letting that be. No other agenda, no other attention. Because I think I wrote a manifesto for the movement, and the first line of the manifesto says, you are enough.
Yep.
And that is an incredibly powerful line, because we are wrapped up in this struggle with enoughness. And it is in every aspect of our lives, at work, at home, as parents, as friends, as colleagues, as husbands and wives. We're always wondering, is who we are enough? So we try to do more, thinking that will make up for it, instead of try to be fully ourselves more. And that's a big transition, owning our own worthiness.
I have to give you credit, which I am, because this is why you're on the show. The power is of this mattering. And I will say this, is that after people have gone through the recognition of being appreciated and appreciating someone else, I have seen people change their behavior in the way that they manage, the way they lead, the way they think about the people that are making a difference in their company. And my favorite part about it isn't just an awareness, which is one component to it. It is also a recognition of people caring to figure out how to make those other people's worlds even better by
Absolutely.
recognizing what their needs are, their existence, their focus, and recognizing their prioritization. Because getting back to that initial problem where a lot of the people are so focused on their work or their clients and not each other, you can lose a sense of culture, a sense of self, a sense of the purpose on why you're doing what you're doing. And if there's one, it's really ironic because you have created a philosophy and a movement that's grounding, yet it is the most uplifting concept I've heard. So I haven't been able to figure it out. I go, wow, she's actually grounded a concept in here, but she's literally helping people launch to the next level. And
that's right.
And if you think about what she's doing with all these hundreds of thousands of students and children around the world who are embracing mattering and carrying that hopefully into their next stage of their lives, we're going to be in a different space, not fixing the existing world of the older people who don't recognize what mattering is, but having a whole world of people that do matter. Oh my God, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. You've got it in me, Angela. I'm here.
Yes, that's right. But it is more than just a statement, as I said, of affirmation. It is a vision caster, that it is the vision of who we seek to be as human beings. We weren't born with fear. We weren't born with doubt. We weren't born with this critical voice in our head that says you're not enough. We learn those behaviors. We are systematized into feeling like we're never enough. And it is a relearning. It is a re-education to be able to say that I need to invest in myself. I have to take responsibility for being fully me, imperfections and all, because the world or someone in it needs exactly what I have and only what I can deliver. So it's casting that clear vision for your future and potential, but for our world's future and potential. And then that becomes a call to action. Every day I step up on the hardest days, on the worst days. And I, just like working out this morning, I didn't want to work out this morning. I laid in bed, I fought it. I'm like, I don't feel like it, but I know that I will better serve myself in the world if I start my day out with a great breakfast and a great workout and water and not soda. And I know that. And so I've made that a discipline. Worthiness is a discipline. It requires that much. Getting up and presenting yourself, your fierce self to the world when you don't feel fierce is the hardest thing that we do as human beings. And I think the first step, the easiest step, is actually telling someone else they matter. Yep. It's a step because in the end, it's about making an impact and a difference with someone else. But it's an easier pill to swallow than being accountable for your own mattering by being accountable for others mattering. So I'm asking your community, I'm inviting you to this challenge, to this call to action, inviting you to see what's possible when we can be a part of the force that helps the world know they matter. So I have a site called mattergrams.com, and it's like Vistaprints for mattering. Vistaprints for the human spirit. And you can customize a mattergram with your own picture. We give you language, but you can use your own mattering language and send to somebody in your life. Give them the answer to the question they ask every day, even if they don't know they're asking it. Do I make a difference to anyone?
Right.
Did I make a difference today? Tell them that they did, and be specific.
That's powerful stuff. And for all those listening, again, we're with Angela Maiers, who is just spectacular here running through Choose to Matter, and is someone who embodies what Thrive is all about and what Thrive Loud is, and someone who's thriving every day. So the question I want to ask you is, when you, Angela Matters Maiers, are having trouble thriving, who do you seek out to help you get back on track? Who is your sensei, if you will, to help you thrive again?
You are going to laugh, but it's always been kids. It's always been 5-year-olds, because they are, my favorite definition of the word genius is the ability to take the spirit of a 5-year-old and carry it into adulthood, the spirit of a child and carry it into adulthood. And what I love about young people, young children, especially 4 and 5-year-olds, is they are the leader, the learner, the citizen, the human that we all seek to be. And we need to remind ourselves that we were that human being at one time. We entered this world fearless. We entered this world with the expectation to contribute. We entered this world with fierce imagination and convicted passion and all those things that we say we need now and don't have. And somehow we lost our way. So the mission of Mattering is getting back to our 5-year-old self. And so one of the 5-year-olds that I follow, and in fact, I was having a really bad day yesterday, and not feeling like I mattered and feeling like I just am tired and I want to give up. And there's this young lady named Grace Anna, and she has a Facebook page called Grace Anna Sings. And her expectancy in the world was none. In fact, the doctors told her parents, don't expect genius out of this girl. Don't expect anything. She's not going to walk. She's not going to talk. She's not going to see. She's not going to be anything. Just let her exist. And her mom said, absolutely not. My child is a genius, and my child has a contribution that the world needs. And I don't know what it is, but it is something. She was created for significance. And it is my duty as her mother, as a fellow citizen, to share what she has with the world. And her gift, as you will see on Grace Anna Sings, is singing. And every day she brings hope and inspiration and love and perspective to millions of people, because she is not backing down. She is not playing small, and she is a gift to the universe, and she inspires me every day. So when I feel a little sorry for myself and I feel like, I can't do this anymore, I remember that I need to be strong so that the Grace Annas of the world can be strong. That's my gift to you. Grace Anna Sings. That's my gift to you. That's my mattergram to all of you.
First of all, that's just beautiful is the word that just came to my mind with that. So, it's funny when I ask that question, we're always looking for the people that are having trouble and figuring how they pick up. They talk to a friend, they talk to a coach, and you get inspired by a 5-year-old or all of them. And that's
all of them.
It's so
specifically that one lately. But yes, all of them.
So Angela, and obviously we're flying through time here. I want to be conscious. Isn't that crazy? I know. It goes
crazy.
So
if anybody's still with us, thank you. That matters.
I know. That matters.
It absolutely matters.
Tell us, what's the next big thing for Choose to Matter and Angela?
So I think in our quest to spread the message of mattering, and just because May is Mother's Day, and I think it's not just about a campaign around Mother's Day, but it's a way to change the narrative. And the narrative is to make ourselves feel important, to make others that we need to get something or do something or, adopt something or buy something to sort of validate our worthiness, when all we really need to do is be something, is be with each other, and letting someone else know how you feel about them, letting someone else know that who you are right now is the best gift in the world, is something that I don't just want for mothers. I want it for fathers. I want it for daughters. I want it for sons. I want it for the world. But maybe when we look at all of the narrative around Mother's Day and like, what are you going to get mom for Mother's Day? What about letting her know how much she mattered to you, letting her know why she matters? Because I'm telling you, moms want to know that more than they want flowers and more they want a new dress. And if we can prove that through moms, then we can also do that every single day as a community. Because what ultimately happens, it's not the receiver that is changed, it's the giver that's changed. Yep. And when you wake up every day and you intentionally pause and embrace wow moments and notice and value and honor the genius in your presence, you become a different human being. And that's the kind of human being the world needs.
Love it. Tell me from here on in where everybody can find you and find Choose to Matter. Give all your social, Twitter, Facebook, social media needs so everyone knows where to seek you out.
Well, if you forget my name, which is okay, you just type in You Matter to Google and it'll get to me. But if you just do, everything's Angela Maiers. So everything's under Angela Maiers. It's Maiers. So that's Facebook, that's Twitter, that's everything. And I'm on every platform, and I would love to connect with you on any platform, your choice. Connecting matters, right?
You know it.
Yes. And then I do invite you, I challenge you to join us in the Mattergram campaign. And we put $1 on the Mattergram. I don't really care about money. I have a code, and I'll share it with your listeners, like that they can get 5 free Mattergrams.
Sure, we'll put it on the show notes if they need it.
Yeah,
sure, perfect.
Yeah, but the $1 is about the things that we spend $1 on. And I'm asking you to spend $1 to stand still, to spend $1 to witness how lucky you are to be in the presence of the people that you are in the presence of. And somehow a monetary commitment to that makes you take it more seriously, makes you take the words that you use more seriously. And it also helps run the site so that we can scale even more, that we can help different groups and different organizations customize the messages they want to share with the people that matter to them most.
Perfect.
Mattergram.com. Yes.
Angela, I knew this would be a great show, and you've proven me right, which makes me feel good. But maybe more importantly, I think everyone who's listening recognizes that you do truly matter. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Lou. I am so honored to be on this. I'm so grateful to connect with you. And I know it seems very cliche, but you matter to me, and what you're doing and the way that you're bringing out the complexity and simplicity, urgency of making connections that matter is really brilliant. And I don't just say that lightly. And I'm really proud of you, and I'm really proud to be your friend and to be on this mission, even with different angles, but on this mission with you.
It's right back at you. So thank you, Angela Maiers. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And until next week, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Thrive Loud, or find us on the web at thrivepartners.net.